Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Donna. What we're going to do today is make some paper clips. So grab yourself some paper clips, some cute little punches, whatever you have to hand, some stamps, anything. Most important, grab your coffee and let's get crafting. Right, so what I have done, first of all, is cut myself some sheets of paper, just some little, they're only an inch big, but I've cut a few of these that I'm just going to lay down, and I'm actually going to use my stamps to shabby chic this up a bit. Let me show you first what I've been making. Now, these are paper clips to go in your journals and things. It's not going to want to pick it up too well. Too sure if you can see that properly. Okay, that's one I've been making. These ones are still a bit damp. That's another one. It's a bit wet because I've just put the sparkles over the top of it. But they are gorgeous, beautiful little things to have in your journals. So we're going to make some of these. And I'm just going to show you how I do mine. How you want to do yours is entirely up to you. So let's get started. I need a sip of my coffee first. Oh, that's better. Right, so I've got myself a little stamp block, and I've got these stamps. You may recognise this on the top. They're from The Works, but I love them because they've got all these little bits on for like creating your own stamps and things. I'm not too sure if you can see. Let me show you this one. I have a punch that cuts out this sort of shape, and as you can see, I just use the stamps on them to make them look like stamps, and then I put a butterfly on that side, which looks really pretty. Okay, so if you have a patterned piece of paper and you'd rather save your time and the effort from doing this piece, then by all means do so. You know, if you've got a pretty piece like that and you just want to cut out butterflies or flowers or whatever you have to hand, then that is entirely up to you. I like playing. It's not a matter of I have to do this, it's a matter of I like to do this. So I have a little script stamp here, which I'm just going to stick on there like so to begin with. Just a little script one. Okay, and I'm going to get, because this is red, I want to do them red and black to go with the junk journal that I'm doing. So I've got myself the I have the whole collection of the Spectrum Noir stamps, pads, ink pads. I'll get there in a minute. This one's called Bordeaux. This is on the darker side because the card that I'm using is a dark red. Okay. But just grab, you don't have to be colour coordinating or anything like that. Just grab something that, you know, you can use, you can have a play with. It can be anything, guys, honestly. Alright, I've just got myself a little scrappy piece of paper here. And what I like to do first is I'm going to stamp, put some ink on there, stamp it on there very quickly, and then just stamp it on the paper like so. Okay, stamping it on here first is just to take some of the harshness off of the stamp when you put it on the paper. It just makes it look a little bit more shabby chicy. Let's do the same down here. I'm going to show you how I do butterflies, and I'll show you also how I do my flowers. As I said, there is loads and loads of videos out there, you know, ladies making all different types of things to go on your paper clips for your journals and that. So yeah, this is not a new thing, and don't get me wrong, I am not saying at all that this is my idea. I just sit and play basically, and then I get whatever I come up with. I've not really copied this from anyone else. I've just taken my idea and I'm just going to use it and see what happens. So I have a tiny little one on there. You probably can't even see that, but it's just to go over these with a little bit of black to shabby them up a little bit more. So again, on there, just dab it onto the paper like so. Okay. And I know these are going to be cut out, so half of this you won't see probably, but I like my flowers and my butterflies to have some pretty patterns and textures on them. I just think it makes them pop a bit more. So just go crazy with your stamps, guys, just anything you want to do with them. What else do we have? We have one of these, so I think I might give that one a go. See, I've not used this one before, so you know, give it a go. Let's make sure it's the right way up. Okay, so again in the ink, and I'm just gonna plonk it on there like so. Doesn't matter which way round it is. I think that's the whole idea of when you're creating your own papers and things as well. Just any old how, really, whatever feels best for you. There's no particular order or anything like that that says you have to do it this way. It's just playing and creating. And isn't that what crafting's about, guys? Honestly. Creating, playing. Move that out the way. So, there we go. So what I have now, you can see, is this. Okay. So then I'm going to use my punch. And I'm going to cut myself these 6 butterflies where I've just stamped on here. Let me show you that very quickly, if you can see. Okay, and I think they just look stunning. So I'm going to cut myself 6 of these. You would actually need to cut yourself 12, okay? Only because I use the cards on the inside, as you can probably see on here. I put the butterfly on the back, okay, and then you offset the one on the front that you want to stand out from the card. This camera is absolutely useless. Doesn't like to focus or anything. It's a new one that I got, and I wish I never bothered. I wish I stuck with the old one. At least I could get that to focus in and out properly. I have been through the settings and everything on this camera, and it is absolutely useless. I hate it. So, never mind. One day I may be able to afford a proper camcorder, and then we can do some proper videos, guys. Proper HD, sharp picture, stuff like that. Right, so that's them, okay? I'll leave them to one side for a minute, just make sure the ink's dried off on them properly. I'm going to get another 2 pieces of this. So how have you all been, guys? I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping safe, which is the main thing. I know it's horrible being stuck indoors. You're kind of pondering, you know, I don't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. But if you're a crafter, stick your head into some crafts. Where's my piece of paper gone? Stick your head into doing some crafting, and then the time just flies past. And if you get bored, just sit and do what I do. Stuff like this, you know, just play, create. I don't know how it is for you guys at the moment over the rest of the world. Here we are still on lockdown. I think we're on about week 6. And they're debating at the moment on whether it should go on a bit longer or not. I'm hoping it's going to start lifting, just because the fact of they've now started to say, it's not for definite, but they're now starting to say that they want to start letting people back to work as of next week. They're not opening restaurants, pubs and things like that where there's people gathering together. They're just opening the shops so people can get more things, you know, people can get what they need to get. I mean, we do have our supermarkets that are open, our Tesco's, Asda's, and there is a few here and there of the little convenience stores that are open. I'm lucky, I live smack bang in between 2 convenience stores that are both open. So if I can't get what I need to get at the shops or at Tesco's, Asda's, etc., then I will just pop down to my little local shop. And I think in this time at the moment, I think it's all about kind of protecting and helping and saving your own little local shops, as it is a bit of a crisis at the moment, you know, with people being out of work. I feel really, really sorry for people that have got, you know, business types, because we're not getting any customers. People don't want to be spending money on junk, basically. Non-essentials, what I would say. They don't want to be wasting money on that when they're not sure on how long this lockdown is going to be for. So, you know, why waste money on bits and pieces when you may need it for your food for the next few weeks? So yeah, I'm kind of I'm in an R-ing about I don't know what to do at the moment. The whole moving thing of me moving has been completely put off at the moment. because of all this palaver that's going on, we've decided now that we're actually going to leave it until the new year. So as you can see, guys, I've just done these ones, and I'm going to cut out some flowers. We just thought, like me and my partner, between the two of us, we kind of sat down and we had a chat about it and stuff. And as much as we want to get out of here, at the same time, I've been here for 25 years now in this house. There's been a lot go on in this house since I moved in. When I first moved into this property, my eldest son, who is now 26, obviously he was a baby when I first moved in here. The area at the time was so beautiful. It really, really was. Couldn't fault it at all. We used to have barbecues out on the streets. We used to hire bouncy castles and things like that, you know, for the kids' birthdays, and everyone got involved. And you'd have other people's husbands teaching your kids how to ride their bikes, you know, helping them on their skates and all that kind of stuff. It was absolutely gorgeous, this street, when I moved in here. Now, you're too scared to even say hi to a neighbour. It is absolutely awful, and I really, really can't wait just to get out of here. I need desperately to get away from here. So let's just have a sip of me coffee. That's lovely. Yeah, so, but because of the crisis and everything, money and everything how it is at the moment, we decided that we would just hold off. My partner's just been offered a new position in his work as well. They're training him up to be manager. So at the moment it's kind of, well, if we wait a little while, he can do that. In the long run, when we move, it would be better for him, because he can either be transferred to Lincolnshire branch up there, or he's still got managerial experience on his CV as such. All I'm doing, guys, is I've got a little Inca thing here, and I'm just literally going up the edge of the butterfly's wings. I'm not going all the way around it, just on the edge of the butterfly wings. So yeah, we just basically decided we're going to put it off until the new year now. I've been here that long, you know, so an extra few months isn't going to make a hell of a lot of difference, is it really? Time flies past anyway, so we're probably not even going to realise, you know, how quick the time goes, and before we know it, hopefully we'll be able to get out of here. I'm not too happy with my council at the moment. I don't know if you guys have had any problems with your rent, stuff like that, with your council. A little while ago, I will be honest with you guys, and let me know what you think exactly. It would be interesting to find out what experience you guys have had with these sort of things. On the flowers, I'm just going to quickly go around the edges of these. Because of my disability, I had to leave work. I was first on sick and getting paid from work for roughly 5.5, 6 months. It got to the point of I had to leave work because I just physically couldn't do it anymore. my manager saw the pain, the agony that I was in. It was making me very short-tempered and frustrated with customers. So I had to leave work. Didn't want to, loved it there, and I could quite have easily stayed there until I retired. But just as I kind of made these decisions, and she was training me as well at the time, to be on the managerial team. It's what I would say, it was basically, it's like a supervisor. You have your manager, but then there's like a group of under managers with the company. There's about 6 of us. Well, 6 of them, should I say, sorry. And they're more like supervisors, you know, they do the cashing up, and when the manager's not there, they lock up and they open up in the mornings, and, you know, things are kind of like left for us to deal with when the manager's not there. And they all take it in turns in opening and closing, etc. The cashing up of a night time and things like that. So they don't call them supervisors with that company. You're on the management team. And she was letting me cash up of a night time while I was there. Obviously she was there with me. She knows that I've done it all before. So she was showing me the ropes of how they do theirs, and I was doing all that with her. And I absolutely loved it, but because of my disabilities, I had to give it up, and it killed me. I think I cried for about 3 days. All the people there as well, they are so gorgeous. It was just like one big happy family, and we all worked together. Because I had to leave work and go on the sick, I then had to go on to job seekers allowance. Now, anyone who gets benefits will know that if you get housing benefit, it stops the minute you stop work. It doesn't start again until you start getting benefits. Then they have to backdate it all, which takes time. The only time I have never ever paid my rent was when I had to leave work because of my disabilities. It was 6 weeks short. So I spoke to my landlord people at the time. It's actually a housing association. They said to me, don't worry about it, Miss English, don't worry at all. Just let us know what's going on from week to week so we can work out, you know, whatever's built up, we can put onto rent arrears, you can pay the extra off each week. Right, okay, thank you. The next thing I knew, I was being taken to court. They wanted to evict me for non-payment of rent. Now, bearing in mind, I was paying every single month, I was paying £100 towards the rent arrears. So they had no reason whatsoever to take me to court. I was paying off the rent arrears, and I was paying more than what the minimum was for people on benefits at the time. So we went to court, blah blah blah. They basically told the lady who was there, sorry guys, need a sip of my coffee. They told the lady while I was there, the judge actually looked at her and went, why are you bringing this poor lady to court? She said, because we've had weeks of non-payments. And the judge looked at me and she said, I have the statement in front of me saying that Miss English has paid £100 a month towards the rent arrears. Why have you brought this lady to court? She said, because she's got rent arrears, so we need her out the property. She said, this lady is sitting in front of me in a wheelchair, disabled. She is paying her way, she is waiting for her benefits, and yet she is still managing to go without things in her life, even food some weeks, so she can pay off her rent arrears. So the judge basically said to her, get out my court, you disgust me. So as far as I'm concerned, I won that. If you think any different, please let me know, because I have this standoff at the moment with the council, them saying that I need to pay £650 court costs because they had to take me to court. They didn't have to take me to court. I was doing everything I possibly could to pay off that rent, the arrears. They knew they was going to get backdated money from housing benefit. So basically, once they got that rent arrears, plus me paying the £100 a month off of the rent arrears, it would have turned out, by the time they sorted my housing benefit, I would have been £30 in debt with them. That was all I had left to pay. I have now received a letter from them saying that I owe court costs and I owe a total sum of £2,500 rent arrears. Where it's come from, I don't have a clue. She said I haven't been paying my rent. I have a standing order direct debit thing set up in my bank. The money comes out monthly, and I have checked over the last 2 years on my bank statements that £100 has come out every single month. So I'm kind of in two minds at the moment of what to do. I want to get out of this house. I want to get away from that housing association. And then we've got all this going on, and it's kind of, you don't know whether you're coming or going half of the time, you know. But please, guys, if you've had troubles with your councils and things, or you've got any advice for me, please let me know, because I could really do with the help. Anyway, I have inked all these up. Let's get back to what we're doing. I have inked these up. Out of the card, I have stamped little butterflies, and I punched out the little flowers as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get paper clips. I tried to find a box of paper clips the other day when I was out, and all I could pick up was in Tesco's a packet of 100 paper clips. I think I'm going to start seeing if I can get some more on eBay or Amazon or somewhere, I think. Get some nice little pretty coloured ones maybe. Right, I have some Stamen. You don't have to use these. I have big bundles of different colours, but unfortunately I haven't got red, so I'm having to use the black. Now this would be easier if you don't want to start getting messy with fiddly little bits and hot glue guns and stuff. It would be easier to stick your Stamen on with the paper clip before you start prettying the other sides of them up, etc. Just simply because if you've got a butterfly like this and you've cut this down and you're trying to stick that on there and it's getting caught around the paper clip, etc., you're going to end up screaming and throwing it across the room. So I'm going to take my paper clips. I actually thought of this earlier. I've not actually tried it yet, to be honest with you. It was just an idea. I thought, why don't I stick it between the pieces of paper instead of trying to stick it on after? It would make life so much easier. So all I'm going to do is cut the excess off of there, like so. It may work, it may not. I'm going to get my little glue bottle and I'm going to put lots of glue on this, like so, okay? And then I'm going to get my Stamen so, and it's probably even still too long. I'll just put them on there like so. Fingers crossed, guys, hope this works. Put a little bit more glue across them. Oops, just to make sure they stay. That's alright, that dries clear anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to take the paper clip on there, and then I'm going to stick the card over the top like so. And then what I like to do is pick it up, make sure your paper clip is straight in the right way, and then give it a really good squeeze around that paper clip just for a few seconds till the glue has dried and it's not going to come off and go anywhere. Okay, so we have this at the moment. Okay, and then I'll go through the rest of these. Let's try a flower. Let's put a flower one together. My partner lives opposite a lady who works at the hospital. She told us a couple of days ago that she's actually been working on the corona ward, and how awful it is on there. Not just for her, for everyone, for the patients. The staff are not enjoying it at all. You know, they're finding it very hard to work, because obviously they've got these big protective apron things on, they've got the masks on, the protective screen mask things as well, they've got gloves on, so they can't work properly. You know, it's causing them a lot of problems, really, and I feel so sorry for them. But yeah, she, bless her, it looked like she just wanted to break down and cry, that she was working on there. I think she's had enough. She'll be glad when it's all over with. So put my flower one on there, okay, the card, and then the paper on there. But yeah, I feel so sorry for, you know, all the NHS workers and even the little local doctors and things. You know, it's just, it is absolutely awful. When I went down to the chemist the other day, my partner took me down there to pick up my prescription, and I didn't even recognise her. The lady that's always in there, that always gives me my prescriptions, I didn't even recognise her. She was so covered up in protective stuff that it took me a second to kind of stop and realise. I was like, oh, hello. And she was like, hello, Donna, you okay? Oh, look, see what I've done? Forgot to put the paper clip in there. Let's just get that in there if we can. Around them, like that. That's better. That's it. That one up a tiny bit, and then give it a good squeeze. Our little local shops wasn't sticking to the guidelines to begin with, about letting so many people in the shop and stuff, and then they had the customers moaning that they was being crowded in the shop, so they've now had to start, you know, one in, one out, and there's only 3 people in the shop at a time. And I know everyone's moaning about the fact that they don't want to be queuing, etc. We went down to Tesco's the other day, to get a few bits. My partner dropped me at Tesco's and then left. And he said, when you get to the front of the queue, ring me and I'll come back. Now, the queue was right the way up to the other end of the store and round the corner near where the buses are. It's a long walk, believe me, a long walk, especially if you have got problems, you know. I joined the end of the queue and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be here forever. 5 minutes I was in the door. That was it. The queues look so long because everybody's standing so far away from each other. The queues look enormous. But in actual fact, they're not at all. If they was all standing together, like we normally would do, it would probably work out that there's kind of like 10 people in the queue. But it just looks enormous because you're standing so far away from each other. It would be nice to know, you know, if people are going back to work and stuff like that as of next week, you know, will we be allowed to go and see our families? I don't know about you guys, if you have grandkids or if you see them often, or do they live far away from you and it's trouble to see them. I am missing my grandbabies like mad. I was actually crying on the phone a couple of days ago. My little man, ever since he's grown up, I called him Stinker. As, oi, Stinker, come here, that type of thing. So he now calls me Nanny Stinker. It's so funny. But he was crying to me on the phone the other day. We was on FaceTime so he could see me. And he was crying, wanna come Stinker's house, wanna come Stinker's house, I love Stinker. And oh, it just broke my heart, it really did. But yeah, so it would be nice to find out if we can actually, you know, go back to seeing family and things. It would be wonderful. But how are you guys finding it? Are you like missing your grandchildren and stuff, or do they live far away and you can't get to them regularly anyway? I think it is hard for people that, you know, as I said, if you don't live in the same house with your family, especially grandchildren and things, it's even harder if they're close. If they're only like a short walk round the corner, then it does make it very hard. Hi guys, so sorry about that. Was the postie had a parcel for us. Yeah, where was I? Completely forgot now what I was saying and doing. Right, anyway, these, we got the paper on there, the card on the other side, is stuck the stamen in between them. So what I'm going to do, once that's dried, and give it a little while to dry, just get one of your other butterflies, and I just use my picky tool, and I just kind of round off. State me, look, I've got ink all over me. So remember to protect your desks as well. This is a new mat that I got on here, and within 2 days it was ruined, covered in ink and God knows what, and they don't all come off. So I've just moulded the leaves around a little bit, and then I'm going to stick this but offset it to the other one and the card. Okay, and then I just use my little finger. I'll just get that little push down in the middle. Okay, and just make sure that's going to stick on there. Lift the wings up a little bit more. Okay, so you've got that. Okay, again, once you've stuck that side on, just put it to one side, let it dry while you're playing with everything else. But honest to God, guys, I really hope that you're all well and you're all safe. You know, you subbies mean the world to me. Without you, this channel wouldn't be happening. And you are like my online family. So I really mean it when I say, you know, how are you? How are you doing? And what have you been up to? I know a lot of people have been playing games online with their families. Are spending a lot more time talking to their families. You know, like FaceTime and stuff like that, which I think is absolutely great. And I think people really should be doing these things anyway, you know. It's a shame that a crisis like this has to happen for people to kind of understand that, you know, my family's there and I need to be spending some time with them. With the little flowers, I just, again, just use my little tool. You can get your mat out and mould these or do whatever you want to them. Just pop a little bit of glue on the back, not too much, and then just offset it with the red that's underneath. Okay, let's give it a little push down in the middle. Okay, so you've got that. Again, just pop them to one side, leave them to dry for a bit. I was watching, I know a few of you guys know her, Rachel Ray on YouTube. She does a lot of different crafts, but she loves her diamond painting most of all, I think. But she does cross stitch and she's knitting and sort of multitasking. But she was saying about a few of her friends got online and was doing, you know, like playing games online with each other, and they had a right giggle. I've not done it yet with my kids because one of them is running around looking after the grandbabies, so doesn't really have the time. And when he does in the evening, he likes to be sitting and playing his Xbox when the kids are in bed. So, and then the other one has been at work all day. He's still working through this because he works in, it's like a convenience store, but they do a bit of everything. It's Home Bargains. I know you ladies here will know what Home Bargains is. But they sell everything from toothpaste, shampoos, right the way through to storage boxes. They have food and drink and everything in there. So it is a major convenience store. So he's been working all the time through this, bless him. But he's coming home of a night time and he is so exhausted that he just flicks the telly on and then ends up falling asleep on the sofa. So yeah, that's that. Right, anyway, so these have been sitting here drying. I am not going to bore you to death and make you wait and watch all the rest of them because, you know, I've taken enough of your time today, guys, and I feel that you'll need to get off and do your own things. Right, so I've got my pencil here for picking up little diamond-y things. I've got a pot of red ones which I just found. I've been using tiny little cream coloured ones. You'll probably see on there. You just see them, little cream coloured ones, but they don't really pop out. So I'm wondering if these red ones are going to be any better. I really want some bigger ones to go on these, so I might have a quick look in a second. But and I don't know if they're too big to go on these butterflies, so let's have a try. Might help if I emptied a few out first. Pick one up. Two. 3. There we go. Now don't touch it, don't play with it, anything, just put it to one side and let it dry off. Okay. A bit of glue on there. Turn them over. Oops. Oh God. I end up making a right mess, throwing these everywhere. And right, okay. Get in there. Just do a couple more, and now I'll finish this one here. Then they can dry while I play with other bits. Yeah, me and my daughter have been sitting, and she's knitting at the moment. She's making a huge blanket and using up all her different coloured wools. She's got, you know, the really large shopping bags. She has got 2 of them upstairs in her room, and they're taking up loads of room. So yeah, so she decided she was going to, oh sorry, bear with me a second guys. Just gonna find some, oh those ones, okay. Oh. It's a good job my chair's on wheels, as I kind of out the wheelchair onto the chair and then use the chair to push myself around the room. And oh, I don't know if these are going to be too big, but no, it should look good. Yeah, so she's been knitting, doing that obviously, and I've been doing me crocheting. Which has been lovely, and we've been sitting watching Netflix. We was really gutted the other day. We started watching Pretty Little Liars. When I sat down and started watching it with her, I must admit that I was kind of like, this is going to be like a younger person's type thing, you know, involving kids, and not kids, but sort of like collegey age, and then being in danger and trying to solve the crimes of their friend who has sadly died, and they think she's been murdered. So we've got into that. We're going through watching it on Netflix, as you do, and then the following evening we get our cup of tea, coffee, whatever, sit down, ready to put it on, turned on Netflix. Pretty Little Liars has been taken off of Netflix, and we was halfway through season 4. Now, don't get me wrong, I know they have to take things off Netflix to make way for new stuff that's coming on. It's something to do with them having to renew a license. If not enough people are watching it, then they won't renew that license with the company that owns that film. So I understand that, but it's so annoying. You're in the middle of watching these seasons. We've gone all the way through every night up to halfway through season 4, and then they just stopped it. So we had to wait a few days, and I actually went on to eBay, and we found the box set on there for the last sort of 3 seasons, and they was very cheap, very, very cheap. So we bought them off of there. So tonight we can go back to watching our Netflix. Right, so this is the butterfly. I'll try and get that in view, the camera to focus. Hope you can see that alright, guys. Me looking at it from here, it looks so blurry and horrible, but I hope you can see that. So that's the butterfly. And then the flower, I've just used a large flat back in the middle of them. Okay. And then what I've done with the other ones over here is I've got a Spectrum Noir like sparkly fluid pen, and I just take it and brush it across the wings of the butterfly like so. So they're nice and shiny. You don't have to do this. I just like the effect of them being shabby chicy butterflies and being nice and glittery, shiny. Okay. So I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up because it's very. Where are we? Right there. Yeah, I don't know. You can see that sparkling on there. Probably just looks wet at the moment. But yeah, so there you go, guys. This is how I make mine. You know, once it's dried off a bit, just use your little picky tool, pick the wings back up a little bit of the butterflies so they're more three-dimensional. Because where you've been playing with it, they do have a tendency to sort of lay flat after. So just move them up a little bit like that. Okay, they're all pretty. And then again, once this is all dried properly, you can play with your leaves and mould these a bit more as well. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, I'm going to call it a day for now, guys. I've taken up too much of your time today, having a whinge, etc. You know, but I do mean it. Love you guys so much, and without you guys, this channel wouldn't be happening. So please, you mean the world to me. Stay safe, guys. Look after each other, okay? So I'll leave it there for now, guys. Love to you all. See you again soon.